Fast forward in come over channel so how say GH Politics Avenue. Political stories are trending because make headlines. Ya jemre na YDB Exomo. Onia yankuyense mu quick one. Solomon Owusu Movement for Change. Convener and I'm not kase wotimi atinte sukoko edi egu eye Gertrude Torkonoos so enyasem koto akra. Obusa ne se enti susu ampa. Enti kwa do edi bo wan kasa betima kase afiri wakoma mu se enti wonni hu fo wo kwan bia so maamin wonni hu fo wasan esi sudua se ekwanya omampanyin efa so edi yi maamin de eye mra kwan so funso bia ne hu onko fie no nkogye na home umi enti no
where the Supreme Court to say that they have breached that in-camera hearing. The Supreme Court of Sophia Akuffo was said that even though they have breached the in-camera hearing, will continue. It will not affect.
It will not affect the outcome.
Now today you want it to affect. What sort of thinking is that? Oh,
Solo.
David, let me say that I came from the womb of a woman. So sometimes when you are dealing with women, you want to be charitable, especially those that are nearing 76. Madame Sophia Akufu is almost 76. And so sometimes memory may even fail in terms of recollection of certain activities.
Would that not be an unfair statement?
No, it can't happen, maybe. That's why I use the word maybe. But if indeed she recollects everything, the summary of what she did in the interview can be classified under 3 broad categories. She was not honest as she tried to portray. She only did what she did because she has familiar relationship with the removed Chief Justice on 3 fronts. First of all, Sophia Akufu is an old girl of Wesley Girls High School. And you have Torkonoos also being a Wesley Girls High School old girl. Secondly, she has occupied the position of Chief Justice before. Torkonoos was being removed from the position of a Chief Justice. And then they are all women. I challenge her to tell us from heart to heart that indeed she was honest with what she was asked. The president of the land, John Mahama, behaved within the provisions in the Constitution. Finito. Forget about the emotions. Look, the Council of State is made up of about 31 members. That's the case. We understand that 30 members voted for the establishment of the referendum facility.
One abstained.
And 1 abstained. Now, granted she was the one abstained. If indeed she is truthful, she's honest to herself, why did she not vote against it? So that we know that right from the beginning, you were against it. This is an afterthought. She's a dishonest woman. Chief Justice, does she know what it means to be a Chief Justice? It means you are above all of us in terms of being truthful, being honest to your position. That even one city, if I am unable to account for one city, I should be pardoning you as a Chief Justice. If one city misses from your coffers, you have to be punished. How much more 200-something thousand plus that we are talking about?
That's why she argues that they should have used discretionary.
Who is that discretion? Madam, if you are enjoying your retirement, please enjoy it and let us think. You are a member of the Council of State. For Christ's sake, you have sworn an oath of secrecy. You have put all your members under the bars. So how do you go back and work with them? You see how serious our adults population are behaving in this country. Most of them are the reason why we are where we are. These millennials, the baby boomers. No, these are the baby boomers. They have destroyed a lot of lives. I want to challenge her to, if she says she's honest, she should send back that land she bought at Cantonments for 7,000 cities. Do we sell land at 7,000 at Cantonments? This former chief of...
Are you making as an actual statement?
Jesus Christ.
Come on, David.
She bought a land for 7,000 cities at Cantonments, and she's telling us that she's honest? I didn't say I'm going to. So you see, Torkonoos was prevailed upon by people in society to do what was needful. Arrogance, pomposity, and disrespect for the people of this country is what has led her to where she finds herself. You understand? In any case, who told you that they want that petition? I have said time with that number. Now people don't know Daniel Ofori. The petitioner, people don't know him. He's the largest single investor at the Ghana Stock Exchange. Daniel Ofori is the third largest investor in Ghana Commercial Bank, the third largest investor in Eco Bank, the fourth largest investor in SIC. He has shares in Enterprise Group, and so on and so forth. So between Mr. Ofori and Torkonoos, who has more to lose in this country with your bogus running of the judiciary? And since when did the former Chief Justice know that the judiciary has been weakened? When she established a prima facie case against Charlotte Osei, was the judiciary weakened? Why must we entertain some of these things? You see, they have destroyed the young ones' lives enough. They shouldn't annoy us in this that they are about going where they want to go. And like you were saying, I've read the cross-examination, and you would wonder whether indeed she was a former Chief Justice. And that when some of these judges that who always adjudicate on matters, if you put them in the box, the sort of thing that will come out of their mouths, you will be shocked that intelligence is relegated to the background. And I believe that the document has to be made public for everyone to know what she said. As for Torkonoos, her behavior before the committee, it will marvel you. Look, there was a determination of a matter, you know, along the case. I mean, during proceedings, there are some issues that decisions have to be made. In one such instance, a decision was made which was not in her favor. Could you believe this woman got up and said, "Shame on you, shame, oh shame." She started being mad, shame, shame, and she left. Torkonoos did that.
At the committee.
At the committee, to the extent that the lawyers had to apologize on her behalf. What are we talking about? That something must be heard in camera. This woman was bold enough to hold a press conference and explain what was happening at the committee level. If you and I had done it, would you have gone scot-free? Would we have gone scot-free? Don't send your husband or daughter on a trip and pay them per diem. You do that to say it's not weighty. What means weighty? Then I believe that the former Chief Justice must be investigated thoroughly. For all you know, she did worse.
You're referring to Sophia.
Sophia, so that if we have to terminate all her entitlements immediately. But me, I will take her serious from now to go if she's able to return the land that she bought at 7,000 cedis. Cantonments. Who buys land at Cantonments for 7,000 cedis? This is what they have been doing to the innocent souls of this country. And when they grow, and when their kids grow, they will come and tell me, my kids, that your parents didn't, as it were, regulate themselves well. Yeah, Mobra. So, nobody must take what she says serious. It's a propaganda piece. But I'm very happy that it didn't fly. Because the people of this country knows what has happened in the last 8 years and what ought to be done to strengthen our judiciary. Myself, I have about 5 judges that I'm going to petition for them to be removed. They have no business being there. They are killing the system. You are in this country. You are not even ashamed. This was the Chief Justice that told us that best friend couldn't identify whether or not you were a Ghanaian. And I heard Afenyo say he was mourning democracy. Why would he mourn democracy when he took a matter to court 12 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, judges had sat and he had a decision? So if such a Chief Justice had been removed, it will affect Afenyo, because he will not be spoon-fed. So everything is on point. The president did not petition for the Chief Justice to be removed. It was a Ghanaian, Daniel Ofori, who petitioned. He raised 21 issues of misbehavior and 4 issues of incompetence. The committee drew conclusion that on the part of incompetence, they didn't find anything incompetent about the former Chief Justice. But misbehavior, they found her guilty, and so recommended her removal. And the president has no other option. He has no discretion in this matter than to act on the recommendations of the committee, which he has done perfectly. Maybe she can continue with the ECOWAS case. You know, he has sued Ghana at the ECOWAS court for $10 million. When she gets it, then she come and take it. Whether or not this country will give her money allocated to the Ministry of Gender, now you alone should go and take it.
Should we get any takeaway from what the statement she made? Because she's been calling for a revision of the 1992 Constitution, especially on the Article 146. And I quite remember that when this case started, I, for once, have also been, arguing that we need to take a clear look at Article 146, and if there are some amendments to be made to bring much more clarity.
What is wrong with Article 146? Tell me what is wrong with Article 146, so that we all go into it.
We were arguing on the grounds that, look, the time it takes for the president, the determination of the prima facie case and all those things.
But what is wrong with that?
Those could be made clearer. But do you find any takeaway from, from
Look,
the
let me tell you, I have
here?
made this point that it must not be difficult to remove a Chief Justice. It must not be difficult to remove the Speaker of Parliament. Neither must it be difficult to remove the President. If we make it so difficult, what it will mean is that you have recalcitrant Chief Justice, recalcitrant Speaker, recalcitrant President, and because it's so difficult, you can't do anything. They will destroy them all.
But if you have some, some loose form of removal, don't you encourage?
No, they will perform. And once they perform, you see, human beings, we are very dynamic.
David, what makes the 146 loose?
I want him to finish.
There is nothing loose about the 146. He said if someone is aggrieved, send your petition. The petition will be sent to the Council of State. Together, you will be given a copy to also respond. If there is there is an issue to answer, you are called before a committee. You have access to your counsel or witnesses. This Chief Justice, the removed Chief Justice, called 12 witnesses. I'm sure you are aware of that. The petitioner also called 13 witnesses. They submitted in all 10,000 evidence. So what is wrong with that? It means the petitioner was ready for this matter, and indeed he had a case, he had something that he stood on. The Chief Justice herself at the point was arguing out. But that's what all of us have been doing, that instead of going with our bodyguards or our security personnel, previous Chief Justices have been traveling with their girlfriends, with their mothers, everybody has been traveling. You see, they are not respecting the conditions of service attached to the office. So everyone can go and eat palm. They may not be caught, but you alone will be caught and you'll be dealt with. And that is where we find ourselves. Mind you, the attempt to get this Chief Justice out of office started when the Akufu was in office. Remember Professor Kwaku Azai's petition. He raised fundamental issues that it didn't lie within the bosom of the Chief Justice to be recommending justices to the Supreme Court without the involvement of the Judicial Council. Yeah. The president then, Nana Akuffo, who claimed he had a tete-a-tete with the Council of State and that there wasn't any prima facie case established, was more furious with the petitioner. That before he got the petition had been leaked to the media. So he was even shopping around to get a law that could get the petitioner imprisoned. So it's not as though people started manufacturing evidence or cases against the removed Chief Justice, but it has been there that the nation has done it right. Look, posterity will be so kind to the petitioner, Daniel Ofori. Posterity will be so all right with the decision that was taken, the 5 committee, their conclusions. Posterity will judge them right, and the judiciary that, contrary to what Sophia Akufu and her naysayers are saying, has been wicked, will rather be toughened. All the bad laws in the judiciary will be sacked, so that we can move on as a nation. We are not going to sit back. That is it.
Yeah, Councillor.
Yeah, David, I ask you a simple question. What is wrong?
I get to ask the question.
Yes, so. What is wrong with Article 146? Yesterday, again, for the sake of those who might have missed it yesterday, I told you Article 146 is not for the removal. It is actually to prevent the by heart removal. It has safeguards. As justice of the Superior Court shall not be removed except. So it means that you cannot wake up and just remove the person. And in the case of the Chief Justice, it should be done this way. So it means there are safeguards for all this that he was doing. In fact, one of the things that is in the transcript of the cross-examination was about transfer of judges. Yesterday I mentioned it.
Yeah.
And under Article 296, when you are given the power to use discretionary power, you must use it. You must not use it capriciously, arbitrarily, or with resentment. Or with resentment, like you don't like somebody, then you use your discretionary power against the person. This was a judge, or this was a staff of the judicial service, and because he did something you don't like, you transfer the person, which is unconstitutional. And a judge of her caliber, you see, everybody knows this. The law is in the bosom of the judges. And a chief justice is supposed to be creme de la creme, the top of the judges that we have. For her to have done such a thing amounts to abuse of office. And it's a stated misbehavior.
The former Chief Justice, Sophia, she thinks that it is normal, it is common, it's ordinary part of running an administration, talking about the transfer of staff.
Yes, so under cross-examination, she was asked that have you transferred somebody? You transfer a certain man.
Several.
Yes, you transfer somebody from Accra to Kumasi. He said yes. He transferred the person to go and continue with the IT stuff in Kumasi.
But he transferred him to who?
Yes.
Bedi was transferred to to Tamale.
Yes, he said he was, but the judge, the person we are talking about, had an issue with her, and that is why the person was transferred to Tamale. So it is not just about the fact that it's a normal administrative way. Yes, a normal administrative way. Yesterday I told you there are some companies, for example, Newmont, if you do what is known as retaliation, you are sacked. Immediately. If somebody raises a concern, and after raising the concern, you feel it has been resolved, and you decide that I'll show you where power lies. If the signs are there, immediately you are gone. That's the sort of things. You see, we should be getting to a situation where we will say that institutions are working. She says the judiciary has been weakened because they've removed the head, one person, who just slot in a position. I think that, and she said that when she was there, she was walking on eggshell. That's exactly what we want. You must be there and live above reproach. I told you yesterday, for you to be a justice of the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, you must have high moral character. The moral should not be spelled with double R. High moral character and a proven integrity. You are old enough to remember when Rollins used to say men of integrity. That's the sort of thing we are talking about. A proven integrity. So if you are able to retaliate and exercise your discretion against somebody as a result of resentment, then you can't be there. Those are the things. So anybody, what we have seen now, Araba Torkonoos, our venerable sister-in-law, has written a very good book for us, How Not to Behave as a Chief Justice. That's the title of the book she has written. But by the way, I heard this evening she was organizing a press conference. All of a sudden it was called off. Well, let her do it one evening where we can all buy popcorn.
And then go and sit down.
Go and sit down and have some water or drink beside us and watch while throwing the popcorn in our mouth and watch what she's doing. But you see, all those who had come to line behind to support her, at least the first one I've seen, Sophia's transcript of her cross-examination, it's really weakened.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It has really weakened, and you could at the back of your eye, you will be seeing Chachu just dazzling and being happy and cornering them. I mean, it was so terrible, and I keep wondering how they couldn't get certain rudiments. And you see, they'll ask her one question, and she'll go round. And in law, when you are being evasive, that shows you are not telling the truth.
Because they know the truth. The woman who said she was speaking the truth knows that what she did today with the sister station was palpable falsehood. She lied to the people of this country. So far, don't do that. You're almost 76. Don't do that.
Let me take your wrap-up words then, because you finish up.
So I want to admonish this president together with the people of this country. You see, if we were going to act within the constitution, I'm sure we would make a headway. If people are put in various positions and they are not performing, if the president does not require any petition from the citizen, the president might act. Fire them. You must be ready to fire and hire. That is what makes a nation. You understand?
Yeah.
Just like what has happened to the Chief Justice. For instance, I don't understand why the Speaker of Parliament, after setting up that committee, remember when the parliamentarians went and misbehaved during vetting, destroyed megaphones, microphones, and so on, and you assured the nation that you were going to deal with what has happened to the MPs. So such things, why must it be difficult to go and remove the Speaker and put another person there? You are saying it should be difficult?
I can't say.
Yes, as I said yesterday, what goes round comes round. If the world is round like this, as my very good brother Togbe Ajima said, let it be round like that. But David, again, I cannot end without saying good evening to my Hohoi constituency folks.
Oh, they watch this.
They watch this so much. They watch this. They have only been asking me, don't you have flyers so that they will be displaying, not the flyers for our coming. It's the salient highlights. And my very good research assistant, Salim, you are doing a wonderful job. She's sending the links to almost all the platforms I am on. I think she sent to so many other platforms. At least I shared 3 with him, so I've seen. So I know. Okay. And she's giving. So my people, thanks very much. But David, someone also asked me to ask you, even though you asked the question, is this not a double standard of somebody who was there when 146 was being used, and today will say that she's uncomfortable with 146, Article 146 being used? Posterity will all read this and will read it. I mean, years after yourself and myself are gone. But Sophia Akuffo should know that her current utterances are actually the one making the judiciary weak.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much for passing through. Thank you, Solomon Owusu. He speaks for the movement for change. Theophilus Jimega speaks for the NDC's national communication team, and he's also a proud engineer. So greetings to the folks in Hohoi. Yes. All of you, greetings, good evening, and thanks for sharing this program. Continue sharing, and let's, stay glued to this program, and let's do some talking to power. We'll find out exactly how the world is behaving. My name is David Otokuno Addo. I'll see you same time tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.
When is someone who of course watching on us, Mamma, so Jim Roha, that's a nice body and your dummy, and you ever seen him.